No, I think you're all right. Well, I introduced it too early last week, so I'm going to wait a few seconds. Okay.
It's showing up for me, which might be alright.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the United League Championship. We are here today, and I've just covered a Tier 2 race where we could have seen the Tier 2 Championship and the League Championship sewn up. Neither of those were sewn up, so Tier 2 will be going to a fantastic finale between Danny and Jason. And in Tier 1, the League Championship is still alive, which means that we've got two championships now to decide in Tier 1 as well. If Finn can keep his gap that he currently holds of 28 points above 25 on RG Matiz, then of course he will be the Drivers' Champion. And in the League Championship, is if STS are able to score just 15 points between their two drivers or not lose 29 points, then they will be the champions in the League Championship. So the absolute permutations I'll run you through as we go throughout the race. It's actually a little bit complicated between Matiz and Finn with countback and stuff, but we will come to that bridge if we have to. Basically, just think of it simply at the moment. If Finn beats Matiz, he's won the championship. If not, then we're probably going to be going to Brazil. But anyway, that's all that out the way, and now I'm going to introduce you, of course, as always, Matt as our co-commentator. How are you doing today, and are you looking forward to the race?
I'm not too bad today. Luckily, I'm back actually in the commentary box this week. Looking forward to it. USA. It's quite an oddly good track, I feel, in these cars. Obviously, you've got the very, very high downforce Sector 1. As we see Flying Finn go on to a 1 minute 32.8 there quickly. But yeah, we've got quite a high downforce Sector 1, which is obviously in these new 2017 spec cars is almost cartoonishly fast in my personal opinion, the amount of speed they can carry through. Then obviously Sector 2, mainly just that long back straight, good place for overtaking. Sector 3 then as well, not so, it's sort of more low speed than the first two sectors as well. So this track, it's become a firm fan favourite, I'd say, in the very short time it's been on the Formula 1 calendar as well. So hopefully we can see another, well, we've seen quite a few classic races here as well. Hopefully today we can see another.
Yeah, and we saw a cracking race in Tier 2 with lots of battling. As you said, it's a fan favourite, and also a good one for overtaking over Tier 2. Tiz has just gone to the top with a 132.6, so that's a good time. Over 0.2 of a second quicker than the Flying Finn, which is very good for him in keeping the championship alive and doing exactly what he needs to do. And he's just decided to then cut that corner rather drastically. But yeah, we joined a little bit late, just to warn you on that one, so that's why we're quite a long way into this session already. And let's have a look down the field. It's looking pretty close from 7th down to 12th, as it usually is. Those guys fighting for the lower points is where we see the battle there. And yeah, that looks interesting so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. Around that 1 minute 33, the high 33 time is very, very hotly contested, it appears, at the moment. I mean, there's a firmly sort of 3/4 gap just in the middle there between the top 6, so that could be very, very interesting to see over the course of the evening. I imagine we'll see quite a few of those drivers go a bit quicker in these last few minutes of the session, but now we're under 5 minutes to go of qualifying. Anything can still happen here, and Colin, what's your predictions for pole at this stage?
I'm going to go with Matiz. I think that first run that he's done there, 0.2 of a second. We don't usually see that kind of gap between Finn and Matiz. So yeah, I'm going to say Matiz for pole. Oh, the race is another question, of course. As I said, plenty of overtaking opportunities, but I think pole, I'm going to go with Matiz.
You're going to say Matiz? That's interesting. What time are you going for then?
Oh, time-wise. In Tier 2 we saw, what did we see? It was a 32.8. So I think that there's more time in that for Matiz. To 4.
You're going to go with a 4.
Do you want the other decimal places as well?
Oh, I prefer it. Yeah, we'll see who gets closer, shall we?
432 we'll go with.
4-3-2, fair enough.
If I get that dead on.
If you get that dead on, then, well, I'm going to ask you for the lottery numbers this week, I feel. Everyone, though, at the moment is in the pits bar. What, we got the Amazement that's just come out. I think he's just coming back in as soon as I say that. And then we got Herschel, who's just on a run as well in the Renault. It's quite odd for me personally to see him in that Renault car, because usually I see him in a Force India. And it appears that he's backed off his run, so we're going to get happy hour once more here. Everyone desperate to get out right at the very end of the session when the track's the greenest. RG Matiz, though, is still in his pit box. Both Saubers have just popped out of the pit lane with a Red Bull to fill up the sandwich there. So this could be interesting. 3 minutes left of the session. Probably we'll see most people only go for one more lap, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think in Tier 2 we saw most people actually go for the 2 laps. And apart from Finn, everyone looks like they're going to be going for 1. Finn has just about got time to do 2 runs if he wants to. So he's obviously keeping his options open. For today,
Maybe he's a bit scared of Matiz's time.
Yeah, maybe he wants to give more runs at it. And of course as well for Finn, even though if he loses to Matiz today, comes second, he's still got a big advantage going into the final round of Brazil. He might not worry about wrapping up the title today if he can safely bring home points, making it easier for him next week. So we will see. This could be a safety first approach. He's just starting his lap now, and as he said, he's really good on this circuit, and we really saw the cars being chucked in Tier 2 around this section by the SDS drivers in Tier 2. And we're getting a great view here of Finn doing pretty much the same. Keeping the back end in check is the main thing through there. Really wants to lose grip. But looks like a reasonably good run through that first sector. I should probably get the timings up, shouldn't I? Although it didn't work.
Might be useful.
Tier 2, yeah. But yeah, this is going to be crucial for Finn this lap, because you'd imagine that second lap he might be able to improve a little bit, but the tyres won't exactly be there for him. So this lap is probably the most important one, I would say.
Yeah, strategy as well here is something that's quite interesting. A couple of races I've done around here, it's actually been the 2-stop that is quicker, which is very, very odd, considering F1 2016 it was one of the easiest 1-stops you can make on the game. But yeah, 2-stop, it'll be tight actually. The 2-stop did appear to be quicker, but the 1-stop does seem to be a little traumatic. So I think it'll be interesting to see what people go. I think we could see some split strategies.
Yeah, and Finn just coming towards the end of his lap now. And what is it going to be? Oh yes, it's a 132.459. So Matiz has got something to aim at now. A bit of time that he's got to gain. 0.2 of a second on his previous time.
And Show goes P3.
Yeah, that's a very good result
from
for him. And he's got time for another lap as well if he wants it, just like with Finn. Will Matiz might cross the line with just enough time as well.
I think he... Oh, who's that just blocking out the way? Simon! Oh,
that's that lap
Matiz
gone.
will not be happy with that one. Yeah, and Simon's going to get in the way again here, so, well, Matiz is not going to be happy with this one. Simon, Matiz just all over the shot there. He's not happy with that one. He's going to have to go. Yeah, nothing he can do there. Simon, that was not good positioning from him. He found himself in a bit of a difficult, he needed to run, but, well, personally, that was just not a good job from him, and yeah, RG Matiz has given up there. Yeah. That's frustrating to see, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, he should have got completely out of the way, shouldn't he? He kind of half got out of the way.
Yeah, well, it was looking tight anyway, I think that was the thing, and well, not only did he ruin the end of Matiz's run, but he also ruined his chances of going on another one there, and I can imagine he will not be happy after that one. And I think a few people so far this season have had a few complaints about Simon here and there, and I think that might be another one going up on the chalkboard, unfortunately. But yeah, that was not his finest moment, I think we could say the least. But still, let's not focus on that. We'll focus on the other drivers around. We've got STSF on, so Evo still coming through the final couple of corners. Finn's bailed out of his run now, so there's no chance that he'll be going quicker. Cal coming through the final corner down towards the line. He does not improve. He stays there on a 1 minute 33.2. More so, actually, one of the guys I raced with in AOR, just behind me there, and a good job at the moment. Alonso, though, through the final improve on current P4. Yes, he does, up into P3. Evo. Yeah, it's a good lap by him. Evo down over the line he goes. He stays in P5 there. So, yeah, Joe's actually nestled himself in there quite well, in all fairness.
Yeah, I think that's not what AOR needed. I mean, it's a way outside shot of them winning, but that is not good enough for them. So yeah, as we said, Finn on pole, Matiz in second place, what could have been in that session, Alonso in third, MGHJ very impressive fourth, Evo fifth, Simon ended up sixth there, Callum in seventh, then we got WR Morsey, who's a reserve for TSRL in eighth, then it's Reynolds and Leopard in the Force India, then Midget, Jork, Avenger, RBZ, Amazement, Langman, Herschel, Monkey Face Plays, and BPRL Sturm not setting a time. So that is exactly what STS needed in the championship and the drivers. If the qualifying positions stay in the race, then we will be seeing two champions crowned, but we've obviously got a long way to go. The race hasn't even started yet, so put in the chat your predictions. Will the championships be sewn up by STS and by Finn? And who's going to win this race? Obviously, if you put Matiz, you can't then say that Finn's going to wrap up the championship. So think about that before you put it in.
There are rules to be followed.
Yes. You can't break the laws of maths.
Guess what you want. Yes. Get
so who's your call
from
then?
The chat if you don't get your numbers right. I'm going to put Matiz actually for the win. Okay. Solely because he got blocked in qualifying. I reckon he's going to come in with a point to prove.
Yes.
He's going to go all out. Well, he needs to go all out anyway.
Yeah.
So I reckon someone's predicting Finn's going to run away with it. But yeah, I reckon Matiz is going to make his life difficult tonight.
There's certainly going to be a fight. That with two drivers out now. 5. And it is lights out and away we go. And it looks like Finn is straight away covering that inside line. And Alonso and Matiz both looking to try and get past there. Matiz going around the outside, but Finn has
Williams
got that
at
covered.
The inside. That was Simon. Oh, Simon, yeah. It's then a very optimistic. Oh, someone else's. That's Reynolds. Oh no, it's more so. It's just been pinged to the wall there. Very, very unfortunate for him replacing Trump Rumpa tonight there. He is out of this Grand Prix straight away there, and there was so much support for him in the chat. I think Reynolds has been sent to the back as well there, so a bit of contact made at the start of that race there. Reynolds, once again, we saw it a couple of weeks back at Singapore. He just cannot seem to, he always seems to get involved in the incidents at the start there, which he must be massively frustrated with.
Yeah, and obviously his connection not helping things at all on that one. He's at the back, but he's not too far back, so maybe Reynolds can come back. But a hit for him. He's had a good season, actually, as Reynolds, despite quite a few issues. But positioning as they were, but we've got Evo now going down the inside of OMG Joe. And he has got that move completed, so we are into the usual scenario with STS and AOR at the front. TWRL doing a really good job in qualifying and keeping that going into the race with their two drivers 5th and 6th at the moment. A really good showing for the struggling, shall we say, Team WRL. They haven't had a great season, if we are honest. But Matiz is already 6/10 behind. It's not the end of the world, but he would have been hoping to challenge Finn rather than be this far back. It isn't an ideal start by any imagination for him.
Yeah, I can't imagine that was exactly how he wanted it to go, but obviously around USA as well, corner cutting definitely needs to be absolutely minimised. Now, don't get me wrong, the Flying Finn he's not renowned for breaching track limits, I must say, so it might be quite tight to try and get him on penalties, but that'll certainly be something that throughout have quite a... So try to make sure they keep it between those white lines. Kota, though, generally a little bit of a less strict circuit than most.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of penalties near the end of the Tier 2 race, so people, when they're really pushing towards the end, that's when we really see things kick off there. We've got a bit of a battle here for 9th and 10th. Arctic Avenger, who DNF last week from a pretty good position for FRL, is once again in the top 10. He's battling with RBZ, I believe he was with last week as well. We're coming to the end of the straight. RBZ looking to the inside, but he decides against making an attack on that one. So those positions stay as they are. Most people seem to be behaving quite well here at the start, not seeing too many incidents. Battle here as well between Midget and VRT Herschel, who is looking down the inside there. Midget giving him plenty of room, and they are safely no position. Herschel's looking down the inside now of Midget, which becomes the outside into the next corner, and Midget is able to stay ahead, but a mighty effort there from Herschel, trying something that you usually wouldn't towards the start of a race, so really good job from him. And Avenger, having held off RBZ, is now looking at the back of Simon and Leopard. Those guys really close in the battle for 7th position. And that's really helping TWRL. They are comfortably now in that 5th and 6th. Oh, as Leopard has had a bit of a problem, and he has managed to hold position there, but quite a big cut. Do you reckon the stewards could have something to say about that one?
Unfortunately, I did actually completely miss that one, so I don't know if Leopard has been creative, I think is the right way Chef described it over the radio, isn't it? Creative with your track limits.
Yes,
so
yeah, on that one. But yeah,
that may have came out of nowhere as well. Yeah, I'll have a look though through tyres actually. RBZ, Herschel, and the Red Bulls, which I must say those two tend to try and go for the alternate strategy, like to be a bit quicker at the end. Those are the 4 drivers on a set of these super softs to start this race. So that, I mean, I would imagine all of them are going for one stops there, as RBZ is actually trying to look around the outside. Leopard in a contact base there. Leopard shuts the door. Yeah, Leopard completely pushed him off the circuit there. That was interesting, I think, to say the least there. That was, well, RBZ, I can't imagine is happy with that. He's lost 2 places from that one. That certainly wasn't the best thing in the world there, but through a final couple of corners, RBZ on the outside of Langman there. I think he's going to back out that one as Flying Finn. Well, he's just setting fastest lap after fastest lap. RBZ, though, down the inside final corner. Is he going to be able to make it work? The Renault still on the outside there. I think he's got slightly better traction out of the corner. What is going to go on here? Down towards turn 1, though. They come up the hill. I think that's Amazement and... Oh, there's been contact at the back, actually. Amazement Reynolds have come together, so they changed the round of Z. Still side Langman backs out as we come to the S section as Jork has retired. He's got a bit of front wing damage, so I think he's off down the pub. I think he's had enough of that one.
Yeah. Which
is a bit frustrating to see, but yeah.
Yeah, they obviously had that really good result a couple of weeks ago, but outside the points of Japan, and no points again here today for him. Langman going down the inside of RBZ. This fight is really what we like to see in ULC. Some really close battling all the way down here from 7th to 11th, which coincidentally was what I was talking about in qualifying those positions. So really great battling there. Oh, Arctic Avenger looking down the inside of Leopard, and what a good move there. Leopard's going to hold it round the outside though, which of course becomes the inside, as with most corners around this track. But Arctic Avenger's going to be looking down the inside again. Leopard covers it off nicely though, and he has to stick behind for a little bit more. But these guys look really evenly matched on pace, crash into each other or hold each other too much with the battling. And oh, they've both gone wide there. That is Leopard and Simon both off. Simon going into the pits. I'm not sure what that's all about, but that has allowed Arctic Avenger to gain a couple of spots, and Langman is now right behind them as well. Some really good battling here. Leopard's now going to try and get that position back once again on Arctic Avenger, and he does into turn 1. He should have that one covered. Should be able to cover at the outside. Arctic Avenger gives it a go, but it's not going to quite work. Now he's got to be looking behind as Langman has a look, but not going to be happening into there. These guys really are battling closely, and I think we could see this going on for the whole of the race by the way they're going at the moment.
Yeah, certainly could, but they're also losing out a huge amount of time to the guys ahead of them. So, albeit nothing's predicted as of just yet, but we could already be seeing this top 6 almost locked into just 3 teams. Maybe we're seeing, you know, McLaren as the new Red Bull, Sauber as the new Ferrari as race if it comes to real life.
Yeah, and that has been the way pretty much all the season. Actually, it has been quite comparable to real life. Langman now looking down the inside of Arctic Avenger as we see another change of position. Leopard's getting away now in that 7th position. Oh, Arctic Avenger, he does not know when to quit. I love that. That is fantastic stuff. Really trying to get that position back straight away, and these drivers do not know the word giving up, even though it's 2 words. But yeah, that is certainly some fantastic battling there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Meaning of the term giving up is what I meant to say. But yeah, these guys still going hammer to the floor. But yeah, Leopard has got away from that. Now he's got a second gap. Let's go back to the front. As the weather looks
nothing's
a bit dodgy
changed
to me. No, nothing's changed at the front. I'm thinking the winning.
2015 GP goes from dry to wet. That could throw a spanner in the works, certainly, towards the end of the day there. I'll have a look through tens and warnings. That would be pretty damn good. Finn has absolutely nothing. Matiz has absolutely nothing. Alonso, absolutely nothing. Evo, nothing. Cal, nothing. Joe, 1 warning. There are your top 6. No one. They're all keeping it nice and tidy. As soon as I say that, well, the amazement is he's picked himself up a 3-second time pound. Because he is actually still ahead of Stone there. And I think Simon, Monkey Face Plays, and Reynolds have all picked now. Jork, well, as we said, yeah, he's fully gone now. He's had enough watching the race as well. He's well and truly going down the pub.
Yeah. And a tough couple of weeks for him, but at least his team, XRL, got some good points with Brandy in Tier 2, so they are looking comfortable in 4th position. Now, I like to cover this little battle. I've talked about it quite a bit over the last few weeks. RGL, F1 League, TSRL, and the battle for 5th. The closest battle, really, in the championship, league-wise. A good race for RGL in Tier 2, with Drawmaster picking up good points. He picked up... What did he pick up? So he picked up 6 points, I think, in that one. No, it might have been 8. It was 8 points, yes.
For what position is that, sorry?
This was in Tier 2. So yeah, it was 8 points,
okay.
I'm sure of it. So Drawmaster picked up 8 points. There were no points, I don't think, for any of the other leagues, as far as I'm aware. So that was a good race for RGL, and at the moment they've got Langman in the points, but the F1 League have responded with a good position at the moment for Leopard. So really critical that Langman stays in the points. If he drops out, then the F1 League are going to be able to minimise the loss today. But if there is a change and Langman drops out of that, then the F1 League are going to be coming out pretty much the same as they were going into the race, with up into Zell in that back, a little bit further behind in the championship, and also not doing well in this race. 1 car out, and Simon outside of the points. Evo.
I have just got news from... Sorry to cut in there. I've just got news, actually, from Jork. It is scheduled to rain by the end of the race. Supposedly out of the 6 phases of the race, we're meant to be seeing rain in the last one. Now, for all we know, based on Codemaster's dynamic weather this game, that basically means at some point during the course of this evening there will be rain. Whether it actually cover the 6th phase or not is a very, very different question. But yeah, we are expecting rain as SDSF also dives into the pit lane, end of lap 8.
Yeah, so reasonably early stop for him, but not as early as we saw some people in Tier 2. I think that was in response to Evo catching up with him. That gap was pretty low. He goes on to the soft tyres, which should easily take him to the end. But as always in ULC, we've seen this in the last few weeks. You missed out last week where we saw some especially hard to pass. Alonso about it. That particular driver has come out just behind Alonso, so that's good for them. I think personally, I think Midget has every right to fight for those positions, and I think that's what the guys at the top thought as well. But yeah, they thought it crossed a little bit of a line. And at the moment, Alonso in clear air.
Yeah. I've had a couple of close calls with Midget in the past as well. He's certainly someone that, you know... Oh, he's actually got front wing damage there, so he's really struggling on that set of the ultra soft tyres there. But yeah, he's certainly someone that he's more than happy to push the other driver to the curb or even off the road if he feels he wants a place enough. So certainly someone that you've got to pick your battles carefully with, I think is the right way to describe it.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be a problem for our top guys today. Maybe some of those other guys running maybe 6th downwards might have to worry about that. Possibly 4th and 5th. Yeah, that's 4 on this occasion. Let's see. Are these guys going to respond?
Matiz is in.
Matiz is in.
Flying Finn has not. And I'd imagine that's because he would probably come out right in Herschel, Avenger, Langman, and Leopard, that whole group.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to try and stay out over it because obviously he's got the info from Alonso. He was about 3 seconds behind his brother, and he's 1.6 behind that cluster. So that's a good call, I think, from Finn. It'll be interesting to see where Matiz comes out relative to this whole group. I think he's going to come out just in it as well. I think, no, he's going to come out actually just about. Herschel's going to give him an easy time there. Not really, get in the way of that one. Herschel generally picks his battles quite well. Doesn't really. It's more about try to be consistent over anything else. Yeah, but Matiz has sort of found himself somehow in a bit of a window in that little group. So he's got to hope that RBZ probably won't be pitting him for a good few laps, but Arctic Avengers will probably be very soon. And well, these two have both so far this race been hard fighters. I'm sure we might see that between the pair. RBZ does move through after Arc. Makes a tiny bit of a mistake. Oh, very late defensive move from Arc. It doesn't give him a particularly good run. Oh, chomps in front of him as well. This is getting very, very close between these two, and Matiz must just be going behind, crossing his fingers, crossing his toes, going, please don't hold me up in this. He don't care if they run each other deep into a corner and he can slip by. He just does not need to get involved in this battle. What's going to happen? Into the final sector we go. Oh, he does get a much better run. Oh, they're going to make it 3 wide. No, he doesn't. He backs out. That would have been ballsy to say the least. I think that's the right way to describe it there. From RG Matiz, if I can get the right words out. Too many R's and Arctics and RBZs and everything.
He's losing a lot of time. This hasn't worked out well for him. He did come out in that gap, but these two battling has really put paid to that.
As well.
He's going around the outside, but now he's been shoved off.
Squeezed out. Alonso's got through now. Oh, he looks at the inside of RBZ there. These two not making it easy. And I think, well, could we see Matiz get the so trying to box Matiz behind him then. Goes very, very close. Oh, what's going on? That is not good. That is
the championship over.
Carnage.
Over.
Carnage. That is, well and truly.
Slim hopes are gone, and the league championship ends with that one as well.
Alonso's got damage as well. That was not good.
No, he is carrying on for the moment, is Matiz, but he's going to have to come back into the pits again very slowly. An absolute disaster. I'm not sure what happened there. I think it didn't seem like he made contact with Alonso to begin with, but at the time...
I think, from my point of view, it looked like Matiz was going for an opportunistic, to say the very least, lunge on Arctic Avenger, and it appeared that Alonso was committed to braking later than Matiz.
Yeah. No, I've just seen it back on the stream, actually. That was perfect timing. Yeah, that is exactly what happened, really. They both were going for a lunge, and Alonso got away with it, but major damage. He's going to be... Well, he is crawling back to the pits now. Evo has been the big gainer out of this. He's gained position on Alonso. They're both through the traffic now, although RBZ has actually managed to get away from all these guys out of all of that. He's well up the road now, so working out well for him. But yeah, that is a shame to see the championship end that way.
It's not over yet. It's not over till the checkered flag. Maybe the rain.
Okay, well, you think that.
Let's keep this hype going.
But yeah. I don't see, unless Finn disconnects or something and Matiz refuses to invite him back. We're not.
How many times have we seen Finn disconnect?
That is it.
The dream is over.
Finn is the ULC champion for the second season in a row. It is completely official now. 28 points the gap. RG Matiz definitely scoring 0. So, we've got retirement as well for Leopard. What's happened to him? He was running all right. He's crash on his outback.
He got a 5-second stop. No, he's had a 5-second stop go, so he's rage quit. I think he's in the pit lane. He must have sped in, and well, yeah, they're dropping like flies at the moment. He sped into the pit lane. I just saw that, and I think he's had enough there.
Crash, though. That was after a crash. He'd already crashed because
it might well have been.
Stops.
Yeah, he's got no front wing. Yeah, so he's forgot to set his front wing. He's sped into the pit lane. I think. Well, he might be a bit young to be going down the pub, but maybe he is anyway.
But yeah, that is not good for the F1 League then. I said about him being in a comfortable 7th, but that's gone wrong for them. So advantage RGL in the battle for 5th now. But yeah, as I was saying before Leopard changed it, the Flying Finn is champion for the 2nd time in a row in ULC. He had to fight for this championship a lot more than he did in Season 2, but a fantastic job from him. It's looking like he's going to be able to seal it with a race win as well, but a fantastic season for him, And that does actually championship as well, thinking about it. So we've got a second championship as well for SDS now. So both championships secure. It will just be Tier 2 to be decided in Brazil between Danny and Jason. More problems for the F1 League. Reynolds has got some further issues. He's 13th with no front wing. So I think we could be seeing RGL all but wrap up 5th position here. It's all happening all at once here. And VRT Herschel is up in 5th position as well. He's gained 12 spots from the start. What a drive from him. Has he stopped yet?
Reynolds has gone as well. Oh,
good job.
He's in the pit lane with 3 wheels on his car. How has he done that one? That's impressive. He's got his final wheel hanging on by the tethers. I'm really intrigued.
Oh, I can see the wheel rolling. The wheels rolling down the pit lane
on the side.
into the Red Bull garage. Oh, that would have hurt the legs of those guys. What the heck is going on my screen?
His car's going with the... What? I'll crash... Has he completely broken the game with that one?
I think he has.
I don't know what we've just witnessed there. Yeah, that is...
Oh, hang
Reynolds' lag.
More action. Callum is ahead of Alonso. Alonso's got damage.
Well, Alonso's got damage. Yeah, he got damage from the crash as well. No, he got damage in that crash. He went into the side. Well, I think Arctic Avenger got sideswiped twice.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't realise he had got damage from that. I thought he'd got away from it, but he has not. So that's bad for Alonso. He's actually quite close to the championship with Evo, I think, in the battle for 3rd, which could become 2nd, actually, with Matiz having another DNF like he did in Singapore. I'm not sure on that, though. But yeah, that's bad for Alonso. And that gives a podium position to TWRL. They've had a fantastic race here. 3rd and 5th at the moment. That could get even better for them. So,
probably
this is a really good race. Definitely the best race that TWRL have had in ULC if they can carry on.
Yeah, certainly. So back, was it Bahrain the last time we saw a non-Mercedes or Sauber on the podium?
I think it might have been.
I'm genuinely trying to wrap my mind about when was the last time we didn't see AOR and STS completely lock out the podium.
I think. Oh no, it was. Sorry. Was it? It was Spain. Trumper Rumper was 2nd in Spain, wasn't he?
Yes, it was. Sorry, yeah.
That was the last time.
I do remember that one now. So Trumper Rumper. Unfortunately, his replacement is already at this Grand Prix. But it's been too long. I think we can safely agree. What was that? 4 or 5 races ago. It's nice to see that. Well, we might be seeing some more racing like that. Yeah, still, we're only halfway through this race as well. We've got to remember that, and we've seen quite a lot.
Yeah, a couple of mad moments in a couple of laps, and it's really turned the race on. Guys could possibly pit front wing changed and see if he can come back, but at the moment he seems to be keeping up with Callum, but I don't think he's going to be able to actually repass him with that kind of damage. So, personally, I would gamble and just pit if I was Alonso. But it's going to be a frustrating race.
Yeah, he's lost about a second to Joe on the last lap. By pitting, he's going to lose a lot less than 14 seconds, I'd imagine, in the long term this race. Unless he's just trying to take it a few more laps so he can go onto a fresher, softer compound and be quicker towards the end.
Yeah. So we will see. That is something to look out for. Herschel continues to go around on super soft tyres. He has not pitted. And we saw Rosberg do 13 laps in Tier 2, and he, well, many of you put in the chat correctly, I would say, he went way too long. And Herschel has taken that advice and thrown it in the bin because he's going very long. But he's doing a good job in that run. He started pretty low down on the grid, didn't he? So doing a very good behind has really made for an interesting order now. As we should be seeing Simon pit again, and also RBZ. Watch out for him. He's going to fight through because he was one of the later pitters. So I think he's going to have good pace. So I think we're going to see a very different order from what we've currently got at the end of the race. Still plenty to look out for, despite the fact that Finn is running away with the lead.
Yeah, still certainly, yeah, a lot more towards the back as Alonso. I think it might be his 2nd penalty of the day actually there. So it's gone from bad to worse for him. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter anymore. They've wrapped up both titles, and yeah, that is his 2nd penalty of the day. So, well, could we see him drop even further down the order? Herschel, I don't think has Herschel pit yet? I don't think.
No, he
No,
definitely
yeah, he
hasn't.
must have. He wasn't one of the. Was
No,
one
he
of
hasn't
the first
pitted.
four.
I checked a few laps ago.
No, he hasn't. That was, yeah, no, sorry, he's the only person left to not pit. Yeah, so that's probably around midget. I think once he's made his pit stops here, and well, having a look through the order, I think the one person I really feel sorry for at this stage of the day is Monkey Face Blades. He's 20 seconds behind everyone else. That's a lonely time in that Haas.
Langman has just picked up a 3-second time penalty. The car behind him, Simon, is closing in, but has to pit again. So really, Langman's got to worry about the gap to RBZ. We could have a change in position 4 here. Alonso really struggling on this damaged wing now, and OMG Joe is just going to cruise past him here on the straight. Alonso has the inside line, so he might fight back, which is exactly what he does. Late on the brakes, and he... Oh, what is... Oh!
What have we just witnessed?
That was a very odd incident, but he's managed to get the car turned around very quickly as Alonso. He's kind of done a 360 there, but he's still lost a couple of seconds out of that, and that further adds to his woes. I was really surprised that he fighted for that. Personally, I would have thought that it would have been better to just give up that position and bring it back into the pit lane, but he is...
There's the rain.
That is the rain. Of course we forgot about that. He's staying out
here
until the rain, isn't he? I forgot about that.
Is it going to get heavy enough, though?
Yeah,
This is
he's
what
going
I'm
to be
thinking.
waiting a very long time, isn't he? So, yeah, that's probably why he was staying out. I completely forgot about that, actually, to mention that. But he's still
Herschel's
lost
just
that
let
really badly.
Langman through. No, sorry. Yeah, Herschel's just let Langman through. That's interesting to see as well. The Renault's now for what is RGL? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
RGL.
I'm trying to guess team, not teams leagues again. Yeah, that is RGL that have just swapped places there. I wonder if Herschel's going to be a bit of a moving chicane for Simon behind him now.
It still looks
That'll
to
be
me like
interesting
it's
to
a
see over these next
fair
couple of
way
laps.
away from the rain. And I think Herschel's going to be into puncture
it's the case
territory.
of how heavy, doesn't it? Yeah.
So I think Herschel's taking a big risk here by staying out. Yeah, why Alonso that, but either way, with that spin that he's had after the contact, his race is just going from bad to worse. He's going to struggle to get back onto that podium, even if he gets the strategy bang on with the change to the intermediate tyres, if it gets hard enough, as you say. We're not sure on that. Herschel loses another position to Simon, who pitted early, and that could work out for him if the rain comes down heavy enough. If it doesn't, he's going to be in a situation as well with his tyres knackered, but not quite as bad as Herschel's, who's really going to be dropping like a stone now. RBZ looking pretty well set in 9th. I'd imagine that his next few laps are the critical ones for him, while he's got good life in those pretty fresh, soft tyres, so expect to see him possibly moving through the field. And the same with Arctic Avenger. These next few laps, just before the rain period, is going to be the crucial part of the race. And in terms of rain, TWRL, they've got 2 cars 4th. Is that going to be possibly a stumbling block for those guys, having to either stack or wait an extra lap with one of the cars?
They'll have to stack, I feel. The gap's just under 3 seconds, so Joe will get held up. You gotta remember, they got a 5-second gap to Alonso behind, who is slower than them at the moment. He's got penalties as well, so effectively, actually, including penalties, I think Langman is the next car behind. Obviously, a lot can still happen, but at the moment, obviously, unless the rain is Brazil, as we've seen many years-esque, I think there's no point in them risking what it'll be 27 points, which is huge for them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, excluding, well, depending on where obviously Alonso finishes, that could be almost the biggest haul of points we'll see tonight, which would be incredible for them. Obviously, that'll be a huge boost for their championship as well. But yeah,
I think it almost doubles
there's no
their
point
point
risking it.
projection.
Yeah, they may as well do it.
Agree with that. Alonso punches front wing as well, so they should have that gap. They don't want to risk it and stay out an extra lap and lose it in the rain, which is really easy to do, especially in the fast sections of track. VRT Herschel has lost another position now as Arctic Avenger goes around the outside. And Herschel is hanging on, but I really sense that those super soft tyres are going to be pretty much down to the canvas now, going on board. That left-hand side and the outside of the tyres, respectively, look really, really bad. And if he was going to try and go no stops to the rain, I'm surprised he didn't go into soft tyres. But at the moment, he is still in the points, so if he can carry on going, he's going to have to be very brave. He might just be able to sneak a point. BPRL have scored well in the last few rounds, actually, in comparison to the start of their season. And BPRL Midget could be on for another point here if he is able to pass the struggling Herschel. That would be important for his fact of Herschel dropping down the field. Most people seem to be going pretty similar pace at the moment. I think, for me, Simon is the person who's doing the most impressive job on pretty old super soft tyres now, and managing to keep a solid P7 here, so a good job from him.
Yeah, he certainly is at the moment. RBZ is a second back, so he could be under a bit of pressure very soon. Arctic Avengers as well is another second back. So, and obviously we've seen these two fight, well, pretty much everyone it appears so far this evening. So I'm sure they'll be happy to try and take on another person in this evening's race. And I think, yeah, RBZ at the moment, I don't know if it's just through a couple of corners there, but he's looking a little bit quicker than the Williams ahead of him. So we could see a bit of battling between these two over the next few laps, maybe. We'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, this is the rain now. When people pit, as RBZ there runs a little bit wide, when the rain comes, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. Well, the rain is already here, sorry, but when people pit, let's see, it's the losers from Herschel committed to the first person in. Let's have a look. What's going on?
It's looking
Where's
very
the
early.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm thinking. Is he just going to a set of the ultras, or?
Yeah.
What's he doing? He's on the.
Hasn't he?
That's not. He's
Oh.
showing inters.
I'm seeing
don't know
green
if he's on
slicks.
Inters or.
It's ultras.
I'm
yeah.
seeing. It is ultras. That is the
Yeah.
problem. Is what he's done there. Unfortunately, he should have gone on to a set of softs. The harder the compound, the better they are in the rain. Albeit completely overriding, obviously, the general grip levels for him. He really, excuse me, my wheel decides to recalibrate suddenly. I don't know why it's done that. It's got life of its own, but yeah. Yeah, that's not a particularly brilliant call from Herschel there. He should have gone into a set of the softs and probably been a bit quicker there. And plus, potentially, been able to take him to the end if the rain doesn't get heavy enough. Midget's in the top 10 though for BPRL. Maybe they could score points once more.
And to the intermediate side. As I said,
let's have a look.
Herschel,
Monkey Face plays behind him.
Way too
we'll get
early.
to see the pace. Yeah, that's. Well, I don't think Monkey Face plays probably even noticed he was there then with that. How easy that overtake was.
And he's
all over the shot
lost
there.
it. Yeah, that's a poor decision from Sturm. He's gone too early.
Yeah, but he may as well risk it all. He's got nothing to lose really there, has he? He can give Midget a bit of info as well.
I kind of think that, but then I think you know when the rain is bad enough because it does the DRS disabled thing. So you kind of know that. Oh, Simon's come in. Those super soft tyres, he obviously took them pretty long, but I would have thought he would have stayed out until the rain really started going down. He is.
That I feel is his race over as well.
Inters, yeah, I would agree. Too early still. There's just there's no standing water, is there? It's just the raindrops still. So
he was in a difficult place. What, he'd taken those supers 16 laps, so Herschel just behind him. We just said how Herschel was losing a lot of time to the guys around him. Well, I think he's about to gain a lot of time on one there. Simon all over the shop there, but Herschel does get around the outside. I think Simon, is he rage quitting? No, he's just drifting all over the place.
That's
trying to
how bad the
short
tyres are.
shift, don't over rev the car.
Yeah, just how bad the tyres are makes it look like he's rage quitting. But that is another spot then for Midget. He's up into 9th now, and the Amazement is up into 10th. Or he's got to be looking out for Herschel coming back through now on the fresher tyres. Obviously the softs are better, but at least he's on fresher tyres. That is one little advantage he's got there. Arctic Avenger and RBZ are back together again, ready for another fight. And Langman is the next guy to close up behind Alonso, who's still going around with that damaged wing. And he would have been hoping that the rain would have started coming down a lot harder than it actually has, as he's looking like he's going to lose another spot here. And RGL points. What I can't remember what I said now earlier. I said 8 points that they gained in Tier 2. This is looking like it's going to be 10 that they can gain here. Alonso stays there for the moment, but Langman finds that inside line, which is now not going to quite work for him though. But
well, we saw Alonso just a few laps back try to defend the place, and he ended up getting sent over the top of another car. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised he's trying to defend another one, in all honesty. He's really playing his life in the balance right here, isn't he?
Yeah, he's. I suppose he's kind of got nothing to lose really in terms of this particular
A wheel?
race. Yeah, he could lose a wheel, but yeah, I'm not sure really what kind of. I need to look at the standings actually between him and Evo, but personally, I don't think he's going to be too worried. I think he's just going to want to fight pretty
Got it
hard.
wrapped up, don't they? You may as well have a bit
Yeah.
of fun in the car.
Yeah, he could. Oh, yeah, he's got it pretty safe to Evo as well in terms of that battle. So, yeah, he can really afford to just fight all, to be honest. But personally, I wouldn't recommend it. We have got Sturm pulling over on the intermediate tyres. Simon has actually come back in. So bad with the intermediate tyres that he's come back in for another set of slicks now. So it really shows you how far away those were. But yeah, going back to Langman, so he can't take the risks, but I feel that Alonso probably will. So that's an advantage that Alonso has in that particular battle. Langman cannot afford to throw this down the road because RGL, as it currently stands, are going to move 19 points clear in 5th position and pretty much wrap up that. We haven't seen those kind of points being won by those teams. So really crucial that Langman brings it home for RGL. In terms of the TWL guys, they are looking set still for those 27 points. And it's getting better and better as the laps go on, as they pull away from Alonso. And yeah, looking really good for those guys. Good to see. They've had a troublesome season, and it's really turned around for them in this particular race. Worst, a few laps away from Inters. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I reckon. I really want to see either Evo. I want to see Evo and Finn go for split strategies here. I want to see one of them gamble it and try to just hold out, and then obviously I really want to see a very close battle for the win at the end. And I feel that's probably the best way we're going to see it, because, well, for Evo now, I don't know if obviously he's done the maths with it, but unfortunately for him, he's in a position where the team championship is over. He may as well do the opposite of Finn in these final 5 laps, if obviously it rains enough. If it doesn't rain enough, then obviously there is no point risking it, because all he's going to do is throw himself down the order. But if it gets to the point where the team's like pit now, if Finn comes in, he should stay out, I reckon, and just gamble it. See what he can do. Whether it be just leads for a couple of laps and ends up falling way down the order at the end, he may as well just go for it, really. As Langman is still over the back of Alonso.
But yeah, we saw that in Tier 2 Singapore. We saw Safrai stay out on the intermediate tyres for 2 laps. The rain came down much quicker in that one. But yeah, in 2 laps, Safrai's managed to pretty much lose all of the time that he gained by not pitting. So Jason pitted and gained that all back, apart from 1 second of it, and it worked for Safrai. So a similar thing could happen here in that respect if Evo was to stay out. But I'm starting to think that we might not see Inters whatsoever if it stays off for a few more laps. But we will have to wait and see on that one. Langman still close behind SDS F1 Alonso, and RBZ's really coming into play now. RBZ has managed to pull away from Arctic Avenger. Avenger's losing those super soft tyres now that he's been on for a pretty long time, and that means that he is now looking at 5th position is RBZ, but Langman has got first dibs, has retired. Obviously he got that cool onto the intermediates all wrong, and Langman looking around the outside
on a set of the ultras.
So really not going well for Simon. Langman looking around the
Herschel
outside
and Midget are
now.
having a good battle as well. I would just like to point out that if this battle simmers down, well, they're both looking very close here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Langman's got
so we'll
that.
stay on the position. We'll stay on the one for the higher place for now.
Yeah, Langman seems to have got that now. He's got the inside line through here. As long as he can keep it together, obviously still tricky conditions, so he's got to be careful through the high-speed corners. But I think he has managed to take that position now. And obviously Alonso will probably try and fight back, but Langman has now got that track position advantage. So we'll just stay with this because it's still really close. But yeah, Herschel looking really close to that final points-paying position now. Let's go on board with SDS F1 Alonso. RBZ not quite close enough behind, so Alonso goes for it down the inside. That didn't end well earlier, but this time he's managed to get away with it. Langman holds the position now. And into these next few corners, this is where Langman's got the advantage in terms of having a full front wing. So we should see Langman creating a little bit of a gap through this section of track, but Alonso managing to do a very good job through there and keeping behind. DRS still enabled, so he could have a shot of repassing here, but no, he's picked up a penalty. That's his second one of the day, isn't it? So that's not
Third.
good.
Third
One of the day.
Actually.
So yeah, really not good.
He'll be down to P8. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe we could see even Midget get up to him if he can close up enough time. Well, he needs 6 seconds in 4 laps. Easier said than done, but in these horrible conditions at the moment, not impossible. Midget's on a pad as well, so there's some traction control.
But doesn't quite get it done.
Oh, that's
very close to touching the rear end there. But yeah, now Langman is being able to create that gap. So Langman looking good for 5th position.
So then there's RBZ, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not too old, so hopefully my mind isn't deceiving me here. He started on a set on super softs. He's currently on a set of super softs.
Oh,
is he
the
gonna have to
telemetry
pick
showing
again?
softs. Telemetry showing
Is
softs.
the telemetry showing softs? Okay, then it's
Yeah.
well, he's all supers for me. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I had a moment there. I was like, is RBZ gonna have to pit again by the end? But yeah, clearly not. Sturm's still trying to make those
he's gone down the inside as
that's a late
RBZ.
one.
That was ambitious.
No, just about no contact there, though. I don't think.
Yeah,
Somehow.
that was lucky. That could have ended up badly. But he's not made the move, but all importantly, he hasn't caused a crash. Just avoiding it. And RBZ, I think it's a matter of time now. 4 laps to go, and it's looking really good for RBZ. I would be very surprised if he didn't make this move. He's all over and around every... And he should be looking into the next corner, but no, he's not waiting. And
No,
that was...
he's gone for some lunges. Fair play to him. The confidence is there under brakes.
Yeah, and expect nothing else in the next corner. STSF1 Alonso's actually got DRS. I think they crossed the detection at exactly the same time or something. Or he was just in space of Langman. And he's managed to keep that because of that. Keeping that DRS was really important for him. And RBZ is going to be getting really frustrated here. And he's just going to really want to get through. But yeah, this is frustrating for RBZ, isn't it?
Well, I'm a bit lost, to be honest, why Sonic's fighting this to a degree. Because all he's doing is losing more and more time. Well, I think Midget's made a mistake there. I don't think he is losing more and more time to the guys behind. But he's not going to hold on to this anyway. I'm a bit lost as to why he's defending it so well. I'll check how many pens RBZ's got. But it all seems a little bit... Unless RBZ has got onto it. So I don't know if he's just doing it for the cameras or what. But whatever it is, we're enjoying it at the moment.
Wait for it. RBZ does it again. This is coming... Oh, too predictable. This time they do make contact. No damage, I don't think, but that was contact that time round. I can see Alonso not being too happy with this. Monkey Face Plays has pitted for intermediates and immediately gone off the track, so still not quite intermediates, but it's looking really close to that now, I would have to say. Monkey Face Plays is actually disqualified for going the wrong way as well. So that drops him right to the bottom of the classification. Not that it really matters, he wasn't going to score points anyway. But VLT Herschel is into the points. Actually, he passed Amazement. We missed that. So another point for RGL. Looking really good for those guys now. Almost certain to take 5th position now. It looks like these two guys still fighting with each other. I really didn't think this was going to be a battle, but it is turning out to be probably the best battle of the race between these guys. And wait for it. RBZ's going to try it again down the inside, surely. Yep. Unsurprisingly, a bit more tame this time round. And doesn't quite get past. I think Alonso could hold on to this. He's not going to keep the position after penalties, but it's looking like with 1 lap to go now that Alonso could actually hold on.
Yeah, this would be a fantastic effort by him if he is able to hold on to this. But yeah, certainly an incredible battle as well. Tell you what, RG Matizzi's been gone for ages. RBZ, how on earth he's managed to get no front wing damage from that T1? Oh! Alonso nearly caveats it in towards the final corner there. That is, well, he's held on to it somehow for now, but this is not try conditions anymore, I don't think. These guys are all over the place. But I don't think everyone just, it's almost like they've got an agreement not to pit. Because everyone just seems to be staying out, because obviously if no one does, then no one technically loses out. But RBZ down the inside of Alonso, through turn 2, a bit more contact made between the pair of them there.
Yeah,
Luckily Alonso's side keeps it fit. RB in the end, just like Alonso had got it for good.
But yeah, there we go. RBZ has finally got through. Luckily for him, he hasn't really lost out. I don't think, in all honesty, he would have been able to take Langman anyway. He's still got an outside shot, maybe, in terms of that. But Alonso not happy with that at all. He's weaving, as we see quite often from those guys at the front. But Finn has started his final lap. On his way now, obviously already confirmed that he will be the drivers' champion and also helping his STS team going towards the league championship. But I'd just like to say what a fantastic effort it has been from STS team. Really worked together well. Obviously the brothers here in Tier 1 doing a sterling job, and also Cyril Hamilton did that one reserve race, crucial points in Singapore. And the Tier 2 guys of Safrise and Danny have worked together through each other at school. A thoroughly deserved league championship for STS, and no doubt that Finn has deserved this Drivers' Championship as well. It's been a fantastic season for both of them, hasn't it?
It certainly has. And yeah, that whole STS F1 team, we said it in the preseason podcast even, they just had, well, I'd say four of probably the top 8 strongest people across both splits. So yeah, it was clear they were going to be strong this season, but to wrap it up with one race to go, especially obviously, I say one race to go, it's effectively obviously 2 races to go. It's been fantastic by them all the way throughout. But yeah, Flying Finn, final sector of the season. I'll let you talk over this one, buddy.
Yeah. So what a mega time it has been for the Flying Finn since he joined ULC. One-time champion, last time out, and he's going to become the first double champion now in ULC. It's the 3rd season of ULC, and Finn is now coming into the final corner, and it is the Flying who wins once again and wraps the championship for both him and the league. Congratulations to the Flying Finn. A mighty effort from him and STS. It is going to be Evo who wraps up 2nd place. A good season for him and AOR, but not quite enough.
Oh, and, what's happened to Alonso? He's ripped the wheel off.
Right
final lap of the race
end.
there, so everyone but Sturm is going to score points.
So that is a real shame there. He won't be joining the celebrations in the way that he hoped at STS. But there's going to be massive celebrations here as well. This is a really fantastic result for TWL. The first non-AOR and STS podium since Spain, and it is VRT Callum that picks it up. OMG It's Joe rounds off an even better race for TWL in 4th. 27 points for that team. And also now another crucial result here for RGL. 10 points, and surely now 5th in the championship for those guys. Langman crosses the line. RBZ comes home in... Oh, actually, he's managed to just beat Langman. He had 1 less points. It's a good result, though. Arctic Avenger is in 7th. BPRL Midget is going to pick up 4 more points for BPRL as their season really picks up towards the end. VRT Herschel is going to cross the line and takes 9th, but it drops down to 10th with the Amazement beating him on penalties. So there we go, and just one guy left across the line is BPRL Sturm. That is it then for Tier 1 in terms of championships. But of course, we will be back in Brazil, where there'll be plenty of honour to fight for. But an interesting race to say the least there, wasn't it?
Yeah, certainly was on the whole. A race of attrition, probably the best way to describe that one. But yeah, we've seen it so many times this season, the Flying Finn. Once again on the top step, and well, he's already been able to replicate his hero in Formula 1 and Mika Hakkinen over in AOR, winning 2 seasons over there. Well, now he's done it in ULC. It's a fantastic job by him. We set all the STSF1 team over the course of this entire season. Brilliant job.
So So there we have it then. Finn is the champion of champions. That's what it's called in ULC. Obviously, the best drivers from all the individual leagues. So the champion of champions once again for Finn with a pretty dominant victory as well. Almost 10 seconds over NLR Evo. As you said, a brilliant result there for VRT Callum and OMG. It's Joe for TWRL. RBZ, a good result for him. 1 minute down though. Really shows how spread out things were. For SRL, Langman, a crucial 6th, Arctic Avenger 7th, B-Pro Midget 8th, Amazement 9th, VRT Herschel 10th, then Alonso, a disastrous race for him really, crashing on the last lap in 11th, B-Pro Stone 1 lap down in 12th, then the rest of the guys, their names aren't showing up, but it was Simon Reynolds, of course RG Matiz there, then Leopard, who was the Red Bull? Jork, Morzo. So there we have
Williams not making it to the end.
Yeah, so a bad day
every
for
other
TSRL
team has scored
in the F1
today.
League. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 9 drivers. Well, 10 drivers from 9 teams, I think, scored in that race. Wait, no.
I think it was 8. The F1 League weren't in the points either.
So... No, they weren't, were they? They were in.
No, they both DNF'd as well. So yeah, bad for them in that battle for 5th. But yep, there we go then. Obviously, as I said, we still have Brazil to go, but of things wrapping up with the championships gone. As I said, Tier 2 championship is still available, but obviously that is not the real deal, shall we say? Not to defend people from Tier 2, but it's not the main championship, is it? But yeah, there we go. We will talk to those guys and obviously get the reaction from Finn and. I think Finn, for once, we might see Finn really happy or not. Maybe we will see.
You better be careful there, buddy. Careful what you say.
Rightfully so, to be honest. I think most of his most of the stuff he says has obviously got a reason for it. But yeah, here we go. I will talk to our winner then, and make sure you include your audios, guys. But yeah. Our champion of champions for the 2nd time in a row. Must be a great feeling for you, Finn. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was it's been a great season, really close with Matiz. Shame for him today and in Singapore. Otherwise, I think it would have gone down to the wire and it would have been really close. But yeah, overall season, not much to complain about. I think I did the best I can, and the races I lost were fair and square. So yeah, just happy with the season. But yeah, today just got it because Matiz is one of my close friends in this community, and like solid job for them two. If something happened between them two, but yeah, either way, they both got damage and dropped out contention. So yeah, shame for them. But yeah, happy with my own performance today.
Yeah, they had a pretty big incident that we had quite a big reaction to. But just to point out to you, this is some nice stats that I'm sure that you will enjoy. Since you've joined ULC in Season 2, today was your 9th victory. And you've failed to finish outside of the podium places so far in ULC. So it's been a mega jump since you've joined ULC. And if you do come back in Season 3, obviously that will be on the next game. You will be the man to beat. And yeah, just a fantastic job. And next time out in Brazil, a bit of a parade, but will you still be going flat out for another victory and keeping that 100% podium record going?
Yeah, Brazil's a track for me as did really well there in AOR. So yeah, just one more race to go, and we want to put on a good show, I'm sure. And same with Matiz and Evo and Sonnet. So yeah, we'll all go flat out for that one, and hopefully provide good entertainment.
Yeah, thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Been a fantastic season for you, and as you said, we've seen some really great battles. So. That has been good, and I will hand over to Matt to talk to our 2nd place man.
Yeah, obviously, as well, congrats to Finn. Yeah, Evo, as well. It appeared you sort of had quite a quiet race. I think on the whole, you sort of kept your nose clean throughout, and obviously came through for P2 in the end. Obviously, a little bit disappointing for AOR now, obviously, with both titles. Unfortunately, out the window in the top split, but just obviously talk us through your race on the whole.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Finn for wrapping up the championship, and obviously to Cam for P3. Yeah, I had a really bad qualifying. I had Joe in front of me, which wasn't optimal. Then someone dive bombed me into turn one, and I had to avoid him and almost spun. Then got Joe on the DRS straight, and after that. It was a pretty quiet race until the point after the pits where something big happened. I have no idea what happened. Yeah, I got through that, surprisingly, and after that it was a really quiet race. Yeah.
So obviously, final race at Brazil then. Everyone I expect will obviously be going all out for just one final victory. Do you reckon, obviously, you'll really be able to try and obviously... We saw at Hungary, you obviously were able to take that race victory, but generally it's sort of been Matiz and Finn right at the very front, and then you and sort of Alonso just a tiny bit behind. Do you reckon you'll be able to give him a proper run one final time?
Well, Brazil is not one of my favorite tracks, but I'm sure I will try my best to annoy him, get that race victory from him.
I'm sure you will, buddy. Obviously, congrats as well for P2 tonight, and obviously a very consistent championship from yourself. But obviously, James, I'll leave it back to you to talk to our third place man, Cal.
And obviously, Cal, you had a great result last time out here in Japan, and you followed that up with an even better result today with P3. And after what we've described, I think fairly, as a tough season for TW Rail, what does it mean to bring home a podium for yourself and obviously for the team as well?
Well, first of all, bloody hell, why am I in this party? I was not expecting that. But sorry. Yeah, me and Joe were just all race long, just constantly, which we've never done with teammates. So we just were all race, making sure we brought it home. Both of our tyres were literally on the verge of puncturing. I think we both had maybe 75 at the end. Yeah, we had a comfortable gap behind, so it was pretty easy for the last 10-15 laps, but I'm in shock, to be honest. We were not expecting that.
And obviously it made it all the more sweeter, didn't it, having that team finish as well with the 3 and 4. And was the rain period, obviously, where it didn't come to anything in terms of switching to inters. We saw a few people change, but not most people. Was that a bit of a scare, possibly, that could have upset what was looking like a great result?
Well, yeah, on part, like, I like the rain, I'm quite quick in it, so I was kind of excited for it, but then when me and Joe realised it was just going to stay like this the whole race and we weren't actually going to change to inters, that's where it got a bit worrying, because we had to drive slowly a lot, and we always had that worry that our tyres were just going to, go over the cliff and puncture. And that's literally what we were talking about for the last 5 laps, was just saving tyres. So
yeah, nervy times, but in the end you brought it home. Really good, 27 points for TW. I believe that kind of doubles your points tally, so a really good result for you guys there. Now, I think, let me just check for a second, but I think we might be having another person in this party. Let me just...
Ooh, who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Drum roll, please.
As
also,
I think most of you will be able to predict it quite easily.
Just want to say one thing quick, if I can, for
Yep.
Callum. I think I remember AOR practice back in I think it was October, practicing for AOR then for Australia, and I remember in practice he was like really rapid, and I considered him like I just considered him to be in the contention for the win that weekend, and to not see him on the pitch is really undeserved. So congrats to them this and keep pushing.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, mate.
Okay, and the person who I invited to the party is our league coordinator, Gorsh, who, well, what have you got to say, Gorsh?
Yeah, hello guys. First things first, congratulations Sally and STS. Pretty phenomenal, the effort you've put in this season to get all your guys on the grid and just the pace that you've all had. And I can't really thank you guys enough, along with AOR and all the other leagues. Obviously, still one more race at Brazil, which I'm really looking forward to because, in a way, no one's got anything to lose. So I think we could be seeing some, probably even more fighting up the front, which would be really good to see. PS4 reasonably soon, too. So, yeah, just overall, massive thanks to everyone who watched tonight, and congratulations. To
Okay, so thank you very much. Then, Gorsh, what a good season it has been so far. One round to go in Brazil. We will see you for that on the Xbox side. Obviously, Tier 2. Make sure if you haven't been watching Tier 2 so far to check that out because we've got a really close championship fight. 2 points between Danny and Jason in that one. So make sure you check out Tier 2 next week. And then, of course, we'll have Tier 1 directly after, as always, which will be the final race of the season. As Gorst mentioned, we have the PS4 race starting any second now, if not has already started. So make sure to check that out as well on the ULC YouTube channel, where these streams will be popped after as well. But from today, it's bye from me, and it is bye from Matt.
It certainly is, yeah. Goodbye.
And yeah, we will see you next week. Goodbye.